Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanjay Gupta. I'm part of the SolutionsIQ family, and with me is Saikat. We had a great session with you, Saikat, in Agile Coffee Talk. Why don't you tell us about yourself first, and then we'll talk about the session itself.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjay. First of all, I want to thank you and SolutionsIQ for giving this opportunity. And it's a brilliant session, I would say, a room full of energetic people and brilliant experience.
That's wonderful.
Sort of increases your performance a couple of notch above that you do.
Appreciate it.
So I started my Agile journey back in 2008 with the organization called Sapient. That's when I was exposed to Agile. And then from then onwards, I have been practicing in following different roles, doing transformations or scaling all across till now. When I started earlier and the framework was not there, I was not sure whether I was scaling or doing a bigger Agile. But now with the frameworks in place and my understanding has increased with those certifications, so I am able to judge more and internalize the knowledge that I have acquired across the year to deliver to the people.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And I was part of the session which you had in a coffee talk also, and it was very well received. And I could see a lot of people having a lot of questions, asking you and getting those clarifications, and later on also people talking to you in during the breaks and during the lunch also. Why don't you tell us about the session itself? What was it about, and how did it go?
Yeah, so I intended the session for a group of people where I assume that the people have been practicing Agile in some form and format for over a period of year, right? And if you see the initial two slides, that represented a lot of statistics from Forrester's and version 1, which talks about how the industry has changed in last 3-4 years from the overall process and what I should consider as my success factor in Agile transformation. So that was my premises when I was writing this paper. And then I sort of referred to a couple of successful case studies for PayPal, looked forward to successful model from CA Technologies. It sort of evolved model from CA Technologies, which I represented today. And then I thought I should give an Indian version of it because we are more close to the development centers that runs over India, and I have been working based out of India primarily, apart from a couple of assignments. And I know how the things work out here, and that's how I sort of modified and build up the model, which I say it's a 5-level or 0 to 4 level model, which takes you to your transformation journey, giving you an assessment and the need and the matrices at each level, so that you know how are you doing, what you should do, and what should be the outcome. Because what I am realizing, right, with Agile, it's more than a decade old, and soon it will complete 2 decades of its age into the industry.
Since 2001.
2001.
Okay.
Right. The expectations are changing, right, and it should, right. It has happened for every product or everything that's in the industry. So we, as an Agile practitioner, or who are coaching or playing a Scrum Master role, need to understand that ask of the industry, and some of these asks are set by the business themselves, because now they with the time have also graduated in their Agile journey. Most of the client I talk to, they have either hired or in the process of consulting, getting consulted by some expert organization who knows Agile, right? So when I am going them to a service provider, I need to know what their expectation is. And as I'm realizing that that's more aligned towards the value that we're generating versus the speed of delivery and the stories or the velocity that we are achieving them for earlier, right?
That's right.
That has been a success factor, I would say, the earlier part of 2010 and onwards, and then probably before 2010. But lately, starting from 2013 and 14, things are changing because Kanban-like systems and Lean has got more prominency, where we are talking about flow-based delivery.
Flow and value.
Value-based delivery.
Yeah.
We're also talking about pull mechanisms, right? Which Scrum doesn't talk about very clearly. And it's fine because, that's the framework that you should use when you're just imbibing your Agile journey. That's the framework I still suggest when you're just trying to adapt to Agile. Nothing better work than Scrum. But when you have done it for 2 years and you're working in an organization which is going through Agile transformation journey, you have to do something beyond that, right? What's that?
That's right.
So that's what I think my talk was all about.
Your talk was, yeah, and it was appropriately called also the Agile Next.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think you talked about Indian context, right?
Yes.
And a lot of what you shared was probably collected or based on your experience, and also research-based information. Also, what do you talk about? Okay, what is the key takeaways for when we look at the Indian context? right?
See, one of the things that I have realized, right? So we see a lot of talk happening about the agile culture and DevOps culture recently. If you go to any conferences,
yeah.
right? That's, I would say, the hot thing in
the buzz,
agile
the buzz in the
along with the DevOps.
Yes.
I personally feel, and I think one of the gentlemen and who's senior agile coach in Jeff, he also talk about it. We as an Indian are very culturally rich, right? We come from a very good cultural background. It gives us advantage and disadvantage both, where we say advantage was we're flexible, we're adaptable, because we have all the community in our society, right? You name it, and we have that religion. That means we are adaptive. But it also gives us a status quo where we are sort of resistant towards changing. So I somehow want to marry them both. I would say that, use wherever you want to imbibe on that culture where we are adaptive more and take it as an open person, and then sort of fall back on our resiliency and don't make it your blockage to your agile adaptability.
Absolutely.
And I find we as an Indians are more from a day-to-day life, we are more open and exposed to inspect and adapt than anybody else we come across to, because the kind of society, the infrastructure, environment that we live into it's a day in, day out job for us. So if we can bring that practice into our professional environment and something as great as Agile, I can only see magic happening over there.
So we don't have to look beyond anything. I think we have to just look internal.
Yes, and definitely see, there are great frameworks in the market like Selfless, Spotify, Nexus. They're all there, and they have come after a years or a decade of work by people like Dean and Scott Ambler. Right? We would be a fool not to sort of get knowledge from them.
Absolutely.
But then, as I said, Agile is very contextual to an organization. And if you listen to Scott or Dean saying that, they also said that take from this, adapt to your need.
Adapt to your need.
It's sort of fit to your work. That's what you have to do.
So not a cookie cutter solution, but
Absolutely.
adapt to yours.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's what my presentation comes. Do we know what to adopt from there? Right? I'm taking up a scale model and I go to an organization or a business where it's not tailor fit.
That's wonderful.
Do I have capability as a coach, as a scrum master, or the practitioner to cut it to organization need and hence bring in the value? And that's where I think we all, the agilists who are working and SolutionsIQ as an example, where we are bringing people together, should start thinking towards that direction, because that would make us up in the value chain and we'll be able to contribute more to the fraternity.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think it was a great session, right? And how do you see this the community event going further? Right?
I would say I was overwhelmed. I been going to a couple of other conferences and such community thing also. I haven't seen such a gathering in the first instance in a city and a room full of people, and the knowledge level was immense, right? And the mix was very good. I think the topic selection was really good. The current topic selection, what industry is looking forward to. So you actually cut fit into the requirement of your customer.
Oh,
so that's the audience, and that made him come over on a Saturday, and I'm delighted to have talked to them.
And absolutely, we are delighted to have you here, and we appreciate you being here and sharing your experience and knowledge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Saikat.
Thank you.
Thank you.